G'day everybody and welcome back to a brand new video here on the YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing my round 21 tips and predictions, as well as going through who I've tipped for round 22 and how much I think they are going to win by. Now if you guys do go on to enjoy this video, could you please make sure you show me that by liking the video, subscribing to the channel if you're new, and of course hitting that notification bell so you can be notified when a new video is coming out. Enough wasting your time, let's get straight into it. During round 21, I didn't really have the greatest round of tipping. I got 5 out of 9 tips correct, meaning I got 4 incorrect. Let me quickly go through all the tips that I did get incorrect. The first game I got incorrect was Pies v Blues, Scott Penry's 400th game. I should have backed in my own team to get the job done. I just wasn't too confident in us going into this game. I mean, Carlton are the overall better side, and quite frankly, even though the Pies did get the job done, and I'm very, very happy, it would have been good to get that tip right. The next game I got incorrect was Port v Swans, one of the biggest thrashings of the year, and against two really, really good sides. I was thinking that was going to be a very, very close one, and I actually had Sydney getting the job done, but the Swans unfortunately got absolutely smashed by 112 points, and Port have definitely proven themselves this year, and they're definitely contenders for this year's premiership. The next game I got incorrect was Freo v Essendon. This was a very, very close game, came down to the final few seconds, final 30 seconds I believe. It looked like it was going to be a draw, but then Essendon won a clearance. And unfortunately did miss that final goal, but that 1 point was a very handy point, and the final scores were 89-90, and the Bombers got the job done. Yeah, obviously I tipped the Fremantle Dockers because the Bombers just have not been in the greatest place as of lately, and I genuinely thought Freo were going to get the job done, but unfortunately I was wrong about that. And the final game I got incorrect was Saints v Lions. I know it was sort of stupid of me to go for the Saints, but they have been playing good footy as of lately, and it was being played at Marvel Stadium where they bet the Sydney Swans, and there was another good team they bet in between there. I think it might have been the Bombers, yeah, which kind of gave me a bit of hope for them, although the Lions have been even better as of lately. I knew I should have backed in the Lions, but I thought I'd give the Saints a chance this week, and after that game, I genuinely don't think I'll tip the Saints for the rest of the season. But yeah, I think, although I did think it was going to be a good game, very close one, and the Saints get the job done, the Lions got the job done by an absolute smashing. I think it was like over 80. Yeah, and I'm quite disappointed in that tip. Now let's quickly go through who I've tipped for round 22. Starting off the Friday, we've got Swans v Pies at the SCG. The Pies are coming off a good win against the Blues last week at the MCG for Scott Penry's 400th game. The Swans, on the other hand, have just experienced one of the biggest thrashings of the year, with them losing to Port Adelaide by 112 points. Going into this game, it has been announced that Jordan De Goey will miss it due to an injury in last week's clash. He's sort of been on and off this year, as he has been injured many, many times this year, and they keep bringing him back too early when he's not ready to come back, and then just keeps getting himself even more injured, and I think it's safe to say he won't return for the rest of the season. But the Pies have definitely shown that when the stakes are high, they are able to win the game, and with them still being a chance at finals, we could see a few more wins coming from them in the next couple of weeks. The Swans only managed to score 5 goals in last week's clash, compared to Port Adelaide's 22 goals. But if the Swans do lose this week and the Brisbane Lions win next week, that does mean that the Swans will lose their first place spot, and the Lions will move up there. So I just don't think they're going to let that happen, and I think I'll get the Swans to get the job done by 22 points. Starting off the Saturday, we've got Lions v Giants at the Gabba. The Lions won against the Saints last week in an absolute thrashing. If the Lions win next week and the Swans lose, that means the Lions will take the Sydney Swans first place spot and leave the Sydney Swans wherever they end up after that round. The Giants pulled off a win last week against the Hawthorn Hawks at Manuka Oval in an absolute thriller. Lachie Whitfield last week racked up 37 total disposals in their game, and for the 5th time in a row, Jesse Hogan managed to rack up 4 or more goals in their clash last week, meaning that Jesse Hogan is now officially 2 goals in front of Charlie Curnow and is now leading in the Coleman medal race. Although I do think it will be a close one, I think I'm going to get the Lions to get the job done here since it is being played at the Gabba, and I'll go Lions by 8. Next game, we've got North v West Coast at Bloodstone Arena. After North Melbourne won last week against the Richmond Tigers, they pretty much guaranteed themselves to not finish last on the ladder and to not receive the wooden spoon at the end of the year. West Coast are also coming off a win last week, with them beating the Gold Coast Suns by 10 points at Optus Stadium. Both sides obviously do have some strong forwards, with North Melbourne having Nick Larkey and the West Coast Eagles having Jake Waterman, who are both averaging 2 goals a game. Harry Sheezel is averaging nearly 30 disposals every game, and LDU is averaging 27. But I think the condition that the West Coast Eagles are in, it's going to be quite hard for them to get the job done here, especially as it is being played at Bloodstone Arena. So I think I'm going to go in the North Melbourne Kangaroos to get the job done here by 17 points. Next game, we've got Freo v Cats at Optus Stadium. Both these sides are pretty similar skill-wise, with Freo Dockers sitting at 6th on the ladder and the Geelong Cats sitting at 5th. The Cats are coming off a 5-point win against the Crows, while the Dockers are coming off a 1-point loss against the Bombers. Luke Ryan, Andrew Brayshaw and Caleb Sarong all racked up 30-plus disposals in last week's game, and Jeremy Cameron in the Geelong game last week kicked 6 goals in their clash. And although it is very unlikely that he will win the Coleman medal this year, after last week's game, that's put him up to 6th on the Coleman leaderboard. But I think because of the home ground advantage, I'm going to get Freo to get the job done here by 11 points. After that game, we've got Bombers v Suns at Marvel Stadium. The Bombers are going into this game pretty confidently, with them beating the Freo Dockers last week by 1 point, and the Gold Coast Suns still yet to win an away game this year, after last week losing to the West Coast Eagles at Optus Stadium by 10 points. But the Bombers are definitely going to want this win, considering this could affect the chances of them making finals if they do lose this game. So I think I'm going to have to go the Bombers on this one, and I'm going to go the Bombers by 42 points. And to finish off the Saturday, we've got D's v Port at the MCG. This is a massive game for both teams, as the D's are trying to find their way into the 8s again. And Port Adelaide are making sure they do not leave the 8. The Power do have an overall stronger midfield, with them having players like Zach Butters and Connor Rosie, who racked up roughly 30 disposals last week. And Port Adelaide are coming off a 112-point win against the Swans last week, and the D's are coming off a 51-point loss last week against the Bulldogs. And although this game is being played at the MCG, I just feel as if the D's aren't in a great spot, at least not as of lately. And I think I'm going to have to make sure the D's lose this one and Port Adelaide get the job done. I'm going to go by 46 points. Starting for Sunday, we've got Blues v Hawks at the MCG. This game could turn out to be one of the best games of the round. The Blues are coming off a 3-point loss against the Collingwood Magpies last week, while the Hawks are coming off a 2-point loss against the Giants at Manuka Oval. The Blues were given a shot after the siren last week against Collingwood, but unfortunately Mitch McGovern let the pressure get to him and unfortunately shanked it on the full. Walsh, Cripps, Howard and Newman all racked up 30-plus disposals in last week's game against the Pies, and Carl Amon and Jai Newcomb were able to do the exact same thing against the Giants. The Hawks played some great football throughout the first 3 quarters of the game, but unfortunately in the 4th quarter they lost it by letting the Giants score 7 goals in that game. But I think this definitely is the chance for the Hawks to prove they are a chance at finals, but even more of a chance for Carlton to prove that they are still a chance at winning the flag this year, and they are still contenders and not pretenders. So I'm going to go the Blues on this one by 24 points. Next game, we've got Tigers v Saints at Marvel Stadium. Neither of these teams are in the greatest spot as of lately, with both of them coming off a loss. And although the Saints did lose by 85 points last week, Jack Sinclair was still able to rack up 30 disposals. Jack Ross will return to the Tigers midfield after being out since round 4. Both Dion Prestia and Tim Taranto had one of their best games of the season last week. I think with it being played at Marvel Stadium, we know how well the Saints do play at Marvel Stadium. Well, at least not last week they didn't. But that's the place where they bet the Swans this year in one of the biggest upsets of the year. So I'd just be wrong not to tip the Saints this week. So I'm going to go the Saints by 35 points. And to finish off the round, we've got Crows v Dogs at the Adelaide Oval. The Dogs are coming off a 51-point win against the Demons, and the Crows are coming off a 5-point loss against Geelong. Jamarra Ugle-Hagan had the chance to kick 8 goals last week against the Melbourne Demons, but unfortunately only kicked 2 goals 6. Adam Treloar, Marcus Montepelli and Bailey Dale all racked up 30-plus disposals last week. Riley Thilthorpe, Tex Walker and Joshua Shelley racked up 8 goals altogether, and Rory Laird led in the disposal count last week, with them racking up 29 disposals. And although I do think this will be a very, very close game, I'm going to go the Dogs to get the job done here by a 3-point margin. Alrighty, and that just about wraps up this round of tipping. Now, if you guys did enjoy this video, could you please show me that by liking the video, subscribing to the channel if you're new, and of course, hitting that notification bell so you can be notified when new videos coming out, because I do weekly tipping, and I will be doing them to end off the season. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace.